So, hello, everyone. Welcome to the seventh episode of our podcast series featuring interviews with women who, who stammer, sharing their inspiring stories with others. We are happy to have this episode, earlier this week, and I hope this benefit many PWS. Um, so, today our guest is Meghana Vani, a process developer at Genpact. She has worked in multiple domains, including Treasury, Leases, and reconciliations. She is currently pursuing her final CA exams and has 3.5 years of experience as, Audit Senior at Deloitte. Meghana, I'm very happy that you are here to share your journey and story with us, and there are a lot of uh, questions regarding how stammering can be handled in a professional setting, especially when it comes to client interaction and high stake communications and stuff like that. Thanks again for coming. Welcome.
No problem. Thanks for having me with you.
Thank you. So I will first start with I will directly go deep dive into certain important things to cover. Uh, First question that I want to ask is uh, while working in an office environment, like in environment, how much self-advocacy plays an important role in making yourself comfortable?
Okay. So first of all, I would like to start off with a brief introduction about myself. So apart from what Hidya just told about me, that is like too much professional about me. That is not entirely who I am. So hello everyone, I am Meghana, and I am a semi-qualified CA, as she told. But apart from that, I am also an introvert. Since my childhood, I have been an introvert, and I'm a very shy person to say. But these days, I'm just trying to come out of that, thing of being introvert and all, because being introvert actually sucks, to put it that way. At least for me, because, people expect you to be expressive. Even if I want to grow in my corporate ladder, I'll have to say what my thoughts are, and what I will have to show what kind of person I am, and what values I uphold, right? So I am constantly working on myself, be it on personality wise, or I'm also I'm constantly upskilling myself. uh yeah. So now, coming to Vidya's question, advocacy, I feel, it actually plays a very important role. But a prerequisite to advocacy is realizing your own worth, I feel. What you're capable of, what your capacities are, and not everybody are 100% perfect. Every one of us have some kind of shortfalls, and the first step towards progress, I feel, is to recognize what those shortfalls are, and we need to start working on it. So recently, I can correlate this question of yours with the recent experience I had in my office. So I had changed my team recently. Okay, so last week itself, I had to give an introduction about myself in front of around 25 people to be precise. And trust me, this was actually my biggest standing introductions about myself in front of such a large crowd. Because whenever I was in my school or whenever I was in my college, I used to be this kind of kid, okay? So who just used to say everything so quickly, as if I'm saying, some singing some kind of rap song, and I would just complete it ASAP, and I used to run away from that place. But few experiences, it actually changes your perception, how to see things differently. So what I did, I just went there. I gave an introduction about myself, like how Vidya introduced me in a very professional way, and I also said few informal things about my myself also, and I'm happy that I've entertained everyone around me. They were all smiling faces around me, and I've ensured that nobody would get bored. So I feel that the first thing towards having this self advocacy is that we need to be aware of what our core competencies are, first point. And the other one, self confidence, self esteem is for sure very important. Okay. And definitely here and there, it was half an hour. Okay. I actually stood for half an hour in front of 24 people. I was the only one speaking there. People were just shooting questions at me. They were pulling my leg and all, because obviously they were trying to make me feel comfortable and all. Okay, so I was standing there for half an hour, and I definitely stuttered here and there for sure. But I don't think anyone in the audience felt some kind of an off heat or something, because I was comfortable with myself in the first place. Okay, so I obviously had that nervousness because I never stood in front of half an hour for before 24 people, but I just pulled it off somehow. Okay, so yeah, it is confidence, core competencies, being aware of all those, and just accept who you are. That is fine. And it is always upskilling. Whatever you are, you just have to keep 1 month, 2 month, 6 month time frame for yourself. Assign some goals for yourself, because in your head, how many ever failures you might be having, you will always have that target in your head, that no, all of these are just temporary failures. These are all okay. Even if I meet all these failures, it is okay. My ultimate aim for the next 6 months is to reach to this point. So once we have all that clarity in our head, then I don't think it would be hard. Yeah. I hope this answers your question, Vidya.
Yes, thank you so much. It does answer the question. As you said, self-acceptance is the starting point for self-advocacy. Um, and my question following that is to, but for some, I mean, I have seen, I have heard people with stammering speaking about, relapses. So when they get, relapses, they are in a position of losing a confidence, and to again build up in a shorter time, do you think of any strategies and tools that can be implemented to, because there is no, I mean, easy or quick way to do it,
No.
but is it possible to set our mindset in a, to frame that in a way like we do not feel it to be our fault or something like that, just to move ahead, forgetting about what has happened, and then be confident again? Like, how does that work?
Okay. So relapse, right? Okay. I think relapses and all just happens to me because I remember, few years ago when I was in few years, okay. So even before this TISA happened to me, I just had to address a room of maybe 40 people, and I remember my hands. I was sweating throughout my body. I was not even able to utter a single word. I just ran away from there. My head was totally blank. Okay, I was not able to say anything. But from there, now I have reached to a place where I can speak in front of people. So what has changed from here to there? Maybe I have slowly started developing few techniques, I must say. Number one is it's okay, like whoever I am, I have to speak. I have to, you know, let people inform what I'm thinking. Okay, that is the first thing always in my head. Okay, so I don't know what you call it as a strategy or a technique. I'm not sure,
No,
but
it is not just the mindset. What I meant was that.
mindset. Okay, I am
Yeah.
mindset. I am, very what to say, Monditanam. We say, yeah, I'm a very stubborn person to start with. So if I want to do something, I'm a very determined person as well. Okay, so if I have to do something, I will just do it. Now, if I want to say something to others, even though if the other person gets bored or irritated, I don't care because I have to just say it in a most convincing and entertaining way possible. Right. So that is the first thing. And the other one is that I know these days I'm uh consciously making an effort to talk slowly, with a slow pace of words. Even when I speak to my teammates, or when I address a group of 4 to 5 people in a cafeteria or anywhere, I just speak slowly. I won't rush in completing whatever I have to say, because people, I remember from my own personal experience, people who stammer, they have this thing, a very bad habit of speaking everything so fast, rushing through the things and just completing it irrespective of without paying any attention to what is going on in your own head, uh, let alone understanding if the other person is able to understand whatever we are trying to speak, communicate. So I have just made it a point these days that it's okay, just talk slow instead of completing a particular you know communicating a particular thought within half minute. Even if you take around 1 minute, it is okay, but just say it slowly, it is fine. You have to say in a way that you understand first, and you have to ensure that the other person also understands. It should be two-way. So rushing doesn't actually help, I feel. Okay, so I am a determined person, and I'm also slowly implementing this technique of speaking in a slow paced manner. And the other one is these days I am just working on myself, okay? Irrespective of how many techniques we practice and all, if we don't understand what kind of person I am, what I want in my life and all, I don't think that I will be able to communicate my thoughts effectively. So what I'm doing these days, I am more into meditations. Uh, I read spiritual books and all, like the Bhagavad Gita. It is actually my biggest inspiration. Whenever I'm sad or dejected, I just I think of some verses from the Bhagavad Gita, and it's okay. It slowly, you will also get through this. And yeah, so like as I said, I constantly work upon myself, like how to increase my knowledge. So if I want to speak to someone on any topic, right from health or finance related matters, because I am a chartered accountant, I will be one in a few months maybe. Okay. So if I want to speak regarding health matters, health issues, because I have lost around 40 kilos. Okay. So yeah, so I have a few things on how to speak on health related issues, or how to maintain fitness and all, or finance matters. Having this kind of knowledge also gives you some kind of confidence to begin with. You should have s- something useful to speak about, right? Yeah, so that's all. I won't, yeah, extend it too much. I think I'm fine now. Yeah.
And in addition to that, it's
Mm.
always important to see our stammer as a plus point rather than as a negative. So in that way, how do you think your stammer has influenced your approach to problem solving, or process improvement or something like that? As it any aspect of stammer had a positive impact on that?
Definitely. See, first thing, I will start with the TISA one itself. So initially, for few sessions, I had to interact with Sachin sir, one-on-one interaction. Okay, on a personal level, he was actually, he kept on emphasizing the fact that Meghana, you're a very good speaker. You have some kind of magic when you speak. And even in he actually he made me host a few sessions also. In the
Wow.
evening, he used to finish off within like 15 minutes, and he used to ask me to take it up from here, Meghna. I'll have to leave from here. Yeah, so this is one thing, he always used to emphasize that, Meghana, your name is Hani, okay, so which means speech, right? And you have some kind of magic when you speak. You will just spread your magic to everyone. That is one thing which I always felt. And also the other day when you also, thank you, Vidya. Thank you. And also the other day when I, addressed, when I spoke in front of 24 people, I was able to feel it. Everybody were so happy. They had fun. I was also happy seeing others happy. So, I at that point of time this actually hit my head, that what Sachin sir told is actually true. And the other one is he actually recommended me to take up Vipassana. Vipassana is a meditation technique. Okay, so I have attended a Vipassana session for 10 days here in Telangana itself. I am from Hyderabad. Okay, so after that Vipassana, I found myself to be a very calm person, not reacting fast, quickly, just pacing my thoughts slowly and then responding. So actually, I must say that Vipassana has helped me a lot in rearranging my thoughts and having a clarity as to what I'm supposed to do in my life. So it has been close to 6 months since I've completed my Vipassana session, and I have to admit that it has actually helped me a lot, and I have achieved a lot within this 6 months, and I'm sure that I will achieve a lot also after this. Okay, so one is the compliment that sir has given me, and the other one is the Vipassana one, which I am actually grateful for, because I'm also a very spiritual aspiring person. I'm not a spiritual person. I aspire to be spiritual. Okay, so I'm just having my baby steps right now. I do some kind of reading every day, Bhagavad Gita. Though I have stopped right now because my schedule is a bit tight right now. Okay, and I make it a point that I chant every day, Om chanting. That also makes me a very calm and peaceful person. Yeah, so I sometimes I feel that if I hadn't had this problem of stammering, I would not found out ways as to how to come out of it. And I regret also sometimes that had I done this before, I wouldn't have lost out on so many things in life. But it is okay. Never the and I have just started. I will try to make up for the lost time from here on. That is what I'm aiming to do. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, TISA has helped to see so much into ourselves. Like
Yeah.
we ourselves can understand what is our strength very easily, because uh, it makes us express ourselves openly and to try out and put ourselves out there, which actually helps us to find the strength, I believe. So in that way, like how TISA as a community has helped your, uh, your self-acceptance journey. Can you explain that?
Yeah. So initially when I have joined TISA, I was a very confused kid. Okay, I did not know what to do, how to approach people, or what should I do with my career, because back then, at that time when I started associating with myself with TISA, I was not working anywhere. Point one, I was not seriously pursuing any academic goals as well. Okay, now, yeah, but one thing was I was putting my emphasis on fitness back then when I started my journey with TISA. Okay, now slowly I have started interacting with one-to-one people, starting from Sachin sir. He was very welcoming. He was very warm person who says all good things about you to make you feel good. He does that always. It's very sweet of him, actually. And then, he always, like, he despite being a very busy person, he used to speak to me for hours together. Okay, that is like, I'm really humbled by that. And after that, he used to say me, like, he used to give me lot of motivation as to it's okay. At there was a time when even I used to not be able to speak a single word, but right now I'm okay, I'm doing fine. And after that, I have also started speaking with several people on, on a one-to-one basis on my phone. We used to speak on phones for like half an hour, 1 hour with several TISA people. They used to just call me on my phone, just to have this practice sessions. So there was this person named Rudra Pratap. Okay, I still remember his name because he had such an inspiring story. So he like, after completing his +2, he had to give few interviews in the universities in order to enroll for it, right? Now he had been to a university. So like, he was in the interview room along with his mother. Okay, so there was a principal sitting in front of him. Now he had to speak about himself, market himself, or like why he's a good fit for the university. Now he was so nervous that he was not even able to speak a single word. He just kept on stammering. He just, now he was very embarrassed. Okay, because his mother was also beside him. She obviously, I think, she also felt very bad looking at the plight of his son, because he was embarrassed, he was very sad and all. So that day he made up his mind. Okay, no, this is not happening. I have to work on myself and no, somehow come out of this. Now after that, he has enrolled with the TISA, and he slowly started working on himself. Now, Hattu, he has again given an interview in one of the universities, and I must say he did a very good job, as far as what I can hear from him, what I heard from him. He actually did a very good job. He was very confident, and that is also one of very good universities. I think there should be Brits Pilani or something.
Wow.
I don't remember exactly. But when I spoke to him also, he was sounding very confident and all. That really inspired me. If he can do it, then I can also do it. That's no problem. Okay. So no, that's how speaking to different people from TISA inspired me. Uh, there was this another person who, again, we spoke in one of the practice calls. Okay, so he told me that, Meghana, I make it a point to read Bhagavad Gita every day, Meghana, because this actually inspires me, motivates me. Back then, I was not able to understand what he was saying. That how can easy s- so enlightened as to that book being able to inspire him, or is he so spiritual? I was having my own thoughts in my head. I don't know. But now, when I read those verses from the Gita, it actually helps. So now, whenever I think about Bhagavad Gita and how it helps me to be a better version of myself. I think of that person, who shared his experience with me. Yeah, so I must say that he's actually, helped me become a better person. And it was actually very random, I must say, how I have come across TISA was also extremely random.
Wow.
I just searched it on internet, how to avoid stammering. Okay, and after that I got TISA as a first URL, first link on the page. So that is how I've ended up here at TISA. Yeah,
So it has started from how to, avoid and
avoid
came
stammering.
to self-acceptance.
That's fine. It's okay to
Yeah, that's such
stammer.
a wonderful thing, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as a women who stammers,
Hmm.
do you encounter, any specific challenges in your professional or personal life, and how do you handle it? Or it's the same. Like, you want me to phrase it in another way, is that um one of the most common thing that I have heard is like there are a lot of expectations when it comes to
Women. Hmm.
women.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
in that sense, there is always a personal thing, personal aspect of it. But in profession,
Hmm.
that's mainly I want to concentrate, because in professional thing, in personal thing, there are a lot of examples for that. But in professional thing, I don't know, because I was not in an office environment much, so I'm not able to come up with any examples. So have you faced any specific challenges based on that?
Yes, definitely. So initially, when I used to work with Deloitte, I worked in that firm as part of my articleship, which is basically internship at my CA level. Okay, I was actually I must say I was a small kid. Okay, back then when I entered such a big firm, Big Four, Deloitte, and I was completely lost. I didn't know what to talk, how to talk, and how should I interact with people and all. So I used to be a very quiet person. Okay, I just used to be to, you know, keep to myself, not expressing that much to with people and all. But slowly, after completing my articleship, that is for 3.5 years, and I slowly started this self introspection. Like, what did I do in my articles? I'm at the same place. I didn't move an inch forward. What did I do? So then I slowly, started working on myself. Like, first thing was I focused on physical fitness, because feel that physical fitness, especially for a person who stammer, for me, is very important, because when you work out, the blood rush with you which you have in your body, that keeps you very alert, and at the same time it also calms you down. Okay, because of all the oxygen flow happening, right? So first of all, I started with my physical fitness, and then the next thing was, how should I maintain my mental composure. Okay, so I have slowly increased it to physical fitness, mental fitness, spiritual level. So
Wow.
that is how I've planned for myself. So at mental level, I did not know what to do. It has already been 6 months since I've started working out, lifting weights and all. Now, what should I do at my mental level? So then I have come across TISA. I have started working out on myself. It was not instant, I must say. It was not instant. Even after enrolling with the TISA, and even after I started working with the Genpact, even if I started, even after starting my association with Genpact, I was a very fast speaker. I used to speak very fast. Okay, so it took me some time. Now after completing my Vipassana course, that is in January 2024. That was when I started changing as a person, not only the physical appearance wise, but also mentally, and as what how I see the things around me, how it should be seen, how how I should slow down and just observe instead of just reacting. So this just gave me a perspective. Okay, now after that I just started again slowly working on my knowledge and all, at a mental level, and I've also taken a step above and started reading Bhagavad Gita and doing my meditations and all. So after all this, I must say, sorry, was your question about relapse? I missed it. I'm so sorry.
Women who stammer.
Women who
Stammer.
stammer. Yeah. So after all this, now honestly, I'm not totally out of it. To be very honest, sometimes even now I feel like shit, man. How should I come out of this? I don't want to stammer. But we have to accept the reality as it is. You stammer. That's all. There's no other way around, right? So there's no other way. You have to speak. I speak. That's all. If I stammer, I don't know. You have to listen to it. I don't care because I have to say what I want to say,
Yeah,
and you have to
exactly.
listen also. You have to
Yeah.
listen to also, because both of us are also part of a single team, right? It is your equal responsibility. And I have been hired, so listen to me, no problem.
Yeah.
I have come across several people also who have come to me and asked me personally that, Meghana, we don't see too many women stammering. And I was like, so what should I do now? I stammer. What should I do? Okay. So many women used to, like, they somehow come out of this thing, of stammering at the in the childhood itself. How come you haven't come out of this? Now I sometimes I just feel that I'm at loss of words with this kind of questions I receive. But yeah, I just say them with a smile on my face that yeah, I stammer that, but I'm also working on m- myself with it. That is okay.
Yeah.
If you can understand whatever I'm saying, then that should not be an issue for you also. Then they say, yeah, okay, fine. That is also right. You say, you see, that's what they say in written. So I never felt that as a woman, I had this insecurity feeling, but as a human being, definitely I had this issue. That shit, man, I also stammer. But separately seeing as a woman itself, that I never felt that way. Yeah.
I mean, like depends on one's personal experience, obviously. So,
Okay.
yeah. Actually, when you spoke about internship,
Mm.
I mean, I got a question from one of the members. His
Okay.
name is Asan. He is currently a CA student in Pakistan, and he is finding difficulties in, I mean, induction. So, I mean, he wants to know how you impress your interviewer for securing an article.
Okay.
Am I
Okay, fine.
phrasing it right? Because I have no
Yeah, I
knowledge
get your
about
question.
CA.
I get.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about the answer. How should I answer
Okay.
this? Okay. So hello, Hassan, right?
Yeah, Hassan, his name is. Yeah.
Hi, Hassan. Okay. So as I told you back then when I was interning with Deloitte, I was also a very new person who has just entered the corporate world, and I was also an intro. I have always been an introvert since my childhood. Okay, I did not have too many friends around me and all. So I definitely had an issue adjusting with the corporate setup, or hanging out with people in the office, my peers itself, fellow interns, or even my superiors and all. Now, yeah, it was also an experience for me. Like when I'm there at Deloitte for an interview, obviously back then I had a lot of stammering issue. The HR, I still remember, when I had my first call with the HR, she was not able to understand. She was constantly saying, Meghana, is there any is there any connectivity issue from your end? Now, see, back then I was an introvert. I was not able to accept the fact that I hammer as a person. So whenever the HR used to say that, Meghana, your voice is cracking, and is there any connectivity issue from your end? I just used to skip that question, and I used to rephrase myself. I used to escape, basically. I used to escape from that situation of confronting with the fact that yes, there is an issue. There is not an issue, that yes, I stutter. I was not able to even say this much to the HR in my first round of interview. So, these are few things which feel that I should have implemented back then, because maybe it would have made things easier for me right now. But, nevertheless, we should start at some point and improve on ourselves. Interviews, yeah, we had an I had an HR round. I had one technical round. Technical round also, again, I had this issue where the questions have been asked on depreciation, all the basic questions itself, and I have answered all the questions. Yeah, so in that way, I'm in Deloitte. But there has been a sea of change between my interviews from Deloitte and my interview at Genpact. At Genpact, I was a very confident person. The way I have presented at myself in the interview, I had two rounds of technical interviews, and the first round was with the AVP itself. Excuse me, AVP itself, Assistant Vice President of my department, and the other one was with the management trainee. So both the rounds I have cleared, and I got into the organization. Now, what is the difference between the interview at Deloitte and the interview at Genpact? Same thing. I was not confident, number one. I was not able to accept the fact that I hammer. Number two, I always had this inhibition, like self depleting inhibitions in me, that no, how will I be able to do? Will the other person get impressed? The bird would be impressed by whatever I say. I used to, always think, how to present myself in a way that would impress others, instead of focusing on what I should do for myself, and what should I be do uh, what should I be doing in order to increase my spirits up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other one would be acceptance, and the third one for sure would be to increase the knowledge base. That's all. We need to constantly expand on our knowledge so that we will be able to present our thoughts confidently. Even though, like, when we have enough knowledge and skills on our hand,
Mm,
we will instantaneously become a confident person, that even though I have some issue, in speaking fluently, I am having an additional competencies in me, which would offset the fact that I will not be able to, speak as fluently as the other person speaks. So always I feel that having the right knowledge and right skills will definitely play a huge role on how we present ourselves. Yeah,
It's basically how we play with our strengths, if I'm right.
strengths.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, correct with you.
Yeah. And we have one more question from Harun. How human networking is important in the workplace environment?
Human networking is extremely important, and I think that no one understands this better than me, because
Yeah.
as I told you earlier, I've always been an introvert since my childhood. I don't have so many friends around me as others of my age do, and there are so many benefits of having friends around you. You will have that extra knowledge or extra worldly knowledge that is required in order to progress in career, or also at a personal level. So, uh, you know, somehow during my school and everything, I have just managed by keeping to myself, being a reserved person, not speaking too much to anyone and all. But as I am right now thinking on how to excel in my career, now I have started planning out, or like, what should I do, how am I supposed to excel. So now, in order to get into better organizations, better companies, you need people who can refer you. You need people who can say you which companies are a right fit for you, or what kind of roles are available in which companies, right? So
Mm-mm.
now slowly, what I'm doing, I'm reaching out to my college mates. I'm reaching out to my old friends, to whom I haven't spoken to with for years. So I'm doing all this in order to find opportunities. They I will able to I will be able to understand the markets better once I speak to people. Yeah. So this way, I feel networking helps, and people also refer me into the companies also. My
Mm.
friends here.
Mm. Uh, Do you think the company policies are uh, well enough to encourage people with communication variances like us? Uh,
Yes. Yes.
okay.
Definitely. So the HR policies, I think, for both the organizations that, that I have worked with, that is Deloitte and Genpact. Both of these organizations organizations are huge in its own terms. Okay, so the HR policies, I must say, in these two companies are very strong. In fact, in both the organizations, when I went for the interview in both the organizations, okay, the HR has been very vocal that yes, even if you stammer, it is okay until and unless you don't have an issue uh, communicating your thought in a confident way. Until and unless that becomes the issue, we don't find any problem with you hammering across. That is okay for us. At Deloitte also, the HR has told me the same. And at Genpact also, the AVP who interviewed me, who has taken my technical round, has also told me the same. So the only prerequisites which the interviewers uh, see in everyone, and not only for people who stammer, but for everyone, would be first the technical skills for sure, and how much clarity are you having in your thoughts, and the confidence which you exhibit. These three are the main drivers which the interviewers always see for to anyone who they interview. Now I don't think that it is right for us to separately have a category for people who stammer and add on extra points that we have to speak very fluently, we have to speak excellent English in order to compensate for our his fluency. You know, it is not required, I feel. We should just do what we do the best. We are supposed to be, working out on our strengths. That's all. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Thank you so much. Harun, you have, any other questions or comments? I, I think that's all, I guess. Um, yeah. So if is it not too late, shall I ask one more small question?
Yes, please go
Uh,
on. No problem.
so is it better to tell b- beforehand that we stammer when we communicate with higher, high stake communications and all?
I feel that we need not be too extremely honest about it, and it shouldn't be as if we are confronting some kind of deficit from
Hmm.
our side. We should always keep our best foot
Hmm.
forward, I feel. But if the other person specifically asks us about this, then yes, so we will have to be confident enough to say that yes, I stammer for sure, but I don't think that this will cause any issue for me, in speaking effectively. So I don't think that we need to go upfront and say it, because this also shows some kind of lack of confidence, I feel.
Mm. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when they specifically asks us, only at that point of time we are required to say it to these people, to anyone.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm, mm, mm. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. But in some cases, I feel like if the stress is there so much, maybe in initial stages of ca- career, it may help if we tell them like I mean like I stammer. Just wanted to make sure it's been communicated properly like that or something. I mean, because
Yes.
in my personal experience, I was able to decrease my pressure and stress when I initially uh, spoke like, see, I have stammer, I have this kind of uh, condition. If hope that should not be a factor in recruiting or something.
That is true, Vidya, because I also, when I had an issue, when
Hmm.
I used to hammer on the phone calls, I used to have with the HRs, they used to specifically ask me that, Meghana, do you hammer? One of the HR has, specifically asked me if I hammer,
Hmm.
for which I said, yes, I do hammer, but I hope I'm making myself very clear when I'm speaking to you. So after I informed him that yes, I stammer, I also had this light feeling in my head while
Hmm.
speaking to others, because now I had this comfort factor that yes, he also understands now. That is fine.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, and it is not in that way that when we say to any of the HRs or any of the interviewer or teammates, I don't think that people will be rude.
Yeah.
In mind, they will be kind enough to understand that yes, every human has his or her own, shortfalls. It is okay. So yeah, I don't see this to be an issue. Yeah.
Yeah, it is basically how we say it in the positive sense, I guess. Like we have to be confident in ourselves when we are saying that, so that
Hmm.
it will not be perceived as what you said, like some
Lack of confidence.
yeah deficit or something like that. It's better to express it in a way that in spite, not in spite, like I have this pattern, but yet I can clearly say what I have to say. That yeah.
Yes, yes. And I think I also feel that if we take that extra time, in communicating ourselves to the other person, this adds some kind of a weightage. This shows some kind of confidence.
Yeah.
Instead of just rushing through, whatever we have to say, or we will be required to say. If we just pace our words, slowly, this will also, I feel, I have this hunch that people will take it in a positive way only. I know that
Yeah.
now the world is extremely fast, everything has to go fast, be fast, do fast, but I think we need to reward ourselves with this fact that we have to speak slowly. That is the only way forward. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Meghana.
I I
I
I hope that my video turns on, but I'm not able to switch it on. I don't know
yeah,
what's happening.
yeah.
Yeah.
It would be nice if you are there in
Yeah,
picture.
but I can see your face. Yeah.
Thank you. It was extremely informative, and I hope many PWS have uh, benefited by this conversation. And if you are available later, if there are any questions people want to ask, can I forward it to you so that you can, I mean, you can either send us a voice message or as text or something? Because I
Vidya.
believe there will be a lot of questions people will be interested to, I mean, ask and know about.
Yes, definitely. I would be happy to, um I would be happy to talk to other, you know, TISA or anyone for that matter. Yeah, that is fine. No problem at all.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, it's a pleasure
Thanks.
having you. And
Thanks, Vidya. Thanks for
thanks
having me.
to, yeah, and thanks to participants also who was patiently hearing everything and was, you know, yeah, thank you.
Thanks,
Uh,
everyone. Thanks for having me over here. Hope I added some value to this 1 hour conversation we had, 1 hour long conversation we had. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I will now stop the recording.
sure.